Welcome to this tutorial on environment variables in PowerShell. Environment variables are a fundamental concept in system configuration that every PowerShell user should understand. They play a crucial role in how your operating system and applications behave. In this video, we'll explore what environment variables are, how to access them, and most importantly, how to modify critical variables like path to customize your system's behavior. So, what exactly are environment variables? Think of them as key value pairs that are stored at the system level. Each variable has a name, like username or path, and a corresponding value. These variables configure how programs and processes behave on your computer. For example, the path variable tells Windows where to look for executable files, while the temp variable specifies where temporary files should be stored. Applications and scripts read these variables to understand their operating environment. Environment variables exist in 3 different scopes, and understanding these scopes is essential. First, there's the process scope, which applies only to the current PowerShell session. Any changes you make here disappear when you close the window. Second is the user scope, which applies to the current user account. Variables set here persist across sessions, but only affect your user profile. Finally, the machine scope applies system-wide to all users. Changes at this level require administrator privileges and affect everyone who uses the computer. Reading environment variables in PowerShell is straightforward. The simplest method uses the $env: syntax. For example, $env:username returns your current username. This is the most common way to quickly access a single variable's value. If you want to see all environment variables at once, use the get-childitem command with env: as the argument. This displays a complete list of every environment variable currently defined in your session. To create or modify a variable that exists only in your current session, use the $env: syntax followed by an assignment. For example, $env:"my_var equals "hello" creates a new variable called my_var with the value hello. Remember, this is temporary. The variable exists only in this PowerShell session. When you close the window, it's gone. You can verify the change immediately by typing $env:"my_var to see the value you just set. To make variables persist across sessions, you need to use the netEnvironment class. For user scope, call the setEnvironmentVariable method with 3 arguments: the variable name in quotes, the value in quotes, and the scope, which is "user". This saves the variable permanently for your user account. For machine scope, which affects all users, use "machine" as the 3rd argument instead. Important note: setting machine scope variables requires running PowerShell as an administrator, otherwise you'll get a permission denied error. The path variable is arguably the most important environment variable you'll work with. It contains a semicolon-separated list of directory paths where Windows searches for executable files. When you type a command like Python or Git, Windows checks each directory in path until it finds the executable. To view your current path in a readable format, use $env:"path"-split. This splits the long string at each semicolon and displays each directory on a separate line, making it much easier to read. Adding a directory to path permanently requires several steps. First, retrieve the current path value using the getEnvironmentVariable method with "path" and your desired scope like "user". Store this in a variable called $currentPath. Next, create a new path by concatenating the current path with a semicolon and your new directory path, such as C:\mytools. Store this in $newPath. Finally, call setEnvironmentVariable with "path", $newPath, and the scope. After running these commands, new PowerShell sessions will include your directory and path, allowing you to run executables from that location without specifying the full path.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.